very wrong. CNN's chief political analyst Gloria Borger and CNN political analyst David Gregory are back with us. Gloria, you wrote an excellent piece on CNN.com breaking it all down. We've gone through this before, but you say something feels different this time.
Well, in talking to some of friends of his who have known him for quite some time, they tell me they're worried about him because they say this has a different feel. And they say that he is, spiraling, kind of lashing out of control. And, one source said to me, look, this has real economic impact, talking about his decision on tariffs, and said, something is very wrong here because he's blaming everybody else for his problems. He's angry at his son-in-law, at General Kelly, at McMaster, everybody else. He's never done anything wrong. And then he confuses people by what side of an issue he's going to be on. One day he's for gun control. The next day he meets with the NRA. He's not for gun control. One day he's for saving dreamers. The next day, not so fast. And so the whole thing seems to be just growing a little too chaotic for their comfort level, and they like Donald Trump.
You wrote this sentence that certainly jumped out at me. Not since Richard Nixon started talking to the portraits on the walls of the West Wing has the president seemed so alone against the world.
Yeah, and David knows this. Look, he's lost the people in the White House who were closest to him. Keith Schiller was his bodyguard. Hope Hicks is now leaving. Melania is not so happy with him these days after the Stormy Daniels story. There is friction with Jared and Ivanka. And Kelly keeps a lot of people from talking to him, keeps him isolated because he wants to keep him on track. I guess that hasn't worked so well.
Yeah, how's that going?
Right, not so well.
I think there's a lot of problems, but if you look at how erratic the president is personally, professionally, he has no experience in government. And so the great promise of him was that he would come in as an outsider and stay as an outsider, even as the ultimate insider. The problem is the recklessness means that people around him, let alone people on the Hill, let alone foreign governments, can't put any stock in what he actually says or what he actually believes. Now, we were told in one important measure that the stock market was a sign of his fabulous leadership. Well, guess what? He is tanking the stock market with this tariff decision. And the Dow, which was about 27,000, is now 24 and change. So thank you, Mr. President, because you said that's how we should judge you. So I'm just going by what you said, and here we are after your decision. So I think in addition to that, there's nobody he will listen to who will say, no, Mr. President, you cannot attack the Justice Department and its independence. And it has him going in all different directions. And I keep saying over and over again, when process breaks down like this, and there's a real crisis involving life and death, a president in this condition should make people worried, even if you like him. And I think that's the bulk of your reporting.
Yeah, and these are, and I keep saying this, these are people who know him well and who've watched him for years. One of them said to me, look, the president reacts to these situations differently from most of us because he enjoys the chaos. But sometimes, as David points out, in a dangerous situation, you cannot govern chaotically. And by the way, where is the governing going on? Where are the solutions that he wants? He's getting in his own way now because he has these televised meetings which seem to sound great and then go nowhere.
And just one point on that. Let's remember, to his credit, this candidate who promised building a border wall, he could have had it. He could have achieved his signature promise. He let it pass and didn't get a major bill on immigration, which I think would have made him look great. And now he has an opportunity on guns. Who knows where he is? I don't believe when he says he's going to take on the NRA and he doesn't worry about them. I don't believe all that. We've seen this movie before. Let's see what he actually does.
You saw the Maggie Haberman report that and this is very strange, that the president, in a Machiavellian way, is working with Kelly to oust his daughter and son-in-law.
Well, I think, and I've heard this in my reporting, that the president has grown frustrated with all the headlines about everyone regarding Russia and foreign entities. And of course, Jared has had more than his share. And then Jared's security clearance was downgraded. He told Kelly very publicly, I'm not going to handle this. I want you to handle this. It's hard for me to see how Jared does the job that he was assigned to do, peace in the Middle East, relations with Mexico, without having substantial clearance. And I think the president has said to his friends, Jared and Ivanka are taking a lot of hits here in Washington. Maybe it's best if they
hire your children.
They had a pretty good life.